Hey, how's everybody doing out there today? It's your boy, Coach Lee. Got my man, the O.T.S.B.S. What's going on, man?
What's good, man? What's good? What's going on with this? Everything,
man. It's been a long weekend. I know you're tired. I'm tired. We all tired. You know how it goes, man.
But
so hopefully you stay safe out there. Chicken does make everything better. I ain't going to hate. Any chance I give me some Yardbird, I'm going to take it. Welcome everybody to O.T.S.B.S. I'll let you figure it out on your own.
That's some bullshit.
There it is. Hopefully everybody out there doing all right. See what we got in here today. Baby making music. They already got the jokes today, man.
All right, bring
we need to make time to make them babies out there, man. It's 10 times right now. You need to do a little more love and less fighting right about now, man. You know how it is.
Because you know there is that thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, it is. So everybody, if this is your first time joining us, welcome again to O.T.S.B.S. Oh, that's that bullshit. But you know how it is. We're going to try to keep it PG. Might have some kids out there listening. But you know what it stands for. You know what we're going to bring to you. But we're going to always make sure that we're genuine and we're doing what we need to do. So we'll take a little bit of a different turn. We're going to talk about, I think the last time we did show, we talked about scandals and stuff. Dudes getting locked up and getting caught through social media and white putting pistols on them and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of stick with that narrative a little bit, but it definitely going to still be sports related, but we're going to approach it from the side of sports beef. And what you think is sports beef? Yeah, sports beef. And the words of the stuff that we grew up on is always about what, Xavier?
Beef. What's beef? Where's that beef?
Where's that beef, man? Where's that beef?
Come on, y'all know what the beef is. Y'all know what the beef is.
Where's the beef? At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call the same.
Where's the beef, man? But for those sports beef, we're going to talk about a little something it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It always keeps me kind of still blown away. It happened years ago. I think we were still in college when this happened, if I ain't mistaken. But that sports beef, if I'm not mistaken, was Nancy versus Tanya. Nancy Kerrigan versus Tanya Harding. Not a skating fan, but that definitely brought some news to everybody and opened up a lot of people to the competitive sport of skating.
yeah. Made people start watching it, paying a little bit more attention to it, a little bit more aggressive. I think they took hockey out for a little while with that one.
Yeah, they did. Now she did. I ain't gonna say she did her thing, but she definitely wanted that smoke with old girl, man. So some of y'all may not remember. You might be too young to remember. This was I think it was right before the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. But they were still doing like the trials and competitive state and stuff. But one wanted it a little bit more than the other, and then by all means necessary in order to obtain it, and that involved hiring a hitman.
A hitman, and somebody got tired, literally.
Somebody got tired. So they
as in a tire iron.
Oh, the tire, okay. So she went to the she broke her kneecap or ankle or something of the sort.
Yep. That's my dog.
He telling you it's time to eat. He got beef with you right now.
He gonna mess up and then no down there at Susie Wong's. Let's carry on.
Don't do him like that. So, what do you think prompted her to you know what? Let's take a look at it a little bit. Let's take a look at this oldie but goodie, man. Because let's see.
I can give you a little history on them.
Far away, brother.
So you got Nancy, which was a favorite just because she was likable, personable, and then you have the poor version of Tanya Harding, which kind of gave the essence of the trailer park. So, and Nancy was a little bit better, graceful skater than her. Tanya was a little, bulky, squatty, wasn't that graceful like. So, she could skate. She had talent, but she wasn't gonna beat Nancy, and she wanted it.
She definitely wanted it. She wanted it bad.
Oh, she wanted it bad. So she had beef and all that.
So let's take a little stroll back down memory lane, man, and see what's going on.
Notice the grace.
Competitive skating. Have you turn out to acting like you in a mob? So this was afterwards, and this is after she went in there. She just got an attack. Now I'm a chuckle now. I know at the time it was shocking, but man, I feel bad for. I still do. I feel bad now cracking jokes on it, man. But we talking about 20 plus years now. She fine.
I'm sorry. I laughed then, and I'm laughing now.
Hey, sports is real, man. People get, you talking about fame and money. They do whatever they need to do in order to obtain that.
My question was, it was poorly planned. It was poorly planned. In front of everybody. There's cameras everywhere. There's witnesses. Everybody knows what he looks like. It was poorly planned. Like, he couldn't get her going to McDonald's or something, or like just it was poorly planned. But and Tanya kind of bit the dust on that one. I think, if I remember correctly, I think she got kicked off the team, of course. So they found because the guy snitched. The guy went to jail.
Did she go to something like celebrity death match or something crazy? She fought Butterbean or something. She did off the cusp.
She started boxing.
Okay, she got beat up, did she?
Yeah, she got mutilated pretty bad in the ring with going against I can't remember who she went against, but she got mangled pretty bad. She tried to go professional boxing.
Nah, she couldn't have nobody do her dirty work like she did beforehand. So at that point in time.
I'm gonna say it like this. I think the guy did a half-hearted job. She should have sued him and got her money back, because if you sneak up on someone as a man and you hit them with a tire iron, whatever you hit should come off. That's just my personal view. Should come out. So I think he kind of had some sympathy. He kind of gave her more so a tap because she still ended up skating. So that's not. I don't think. I think he badly bruised, but I don't think he broke. Because a shattered patella, she can't do them spins and jumps and all that other kind of stuff. But
that's true.
That's just she didn't get her money's worth, or maybe I don't remember how that whole situation. If it was money or it was sex involved, I think it was a combination of both.
I about to say, I think the dude that did it was like a estranged boyfriend or something.
Yeah, you know what? That's what it was. It was. I think she put a little skate thunder on it because she was kind of thick. Yeah, she was thick.
Is that a new term?
Yeah, I'm saying.
You heard it here first. Skate thunder.
Skate thunder. In case you're not familiar with skate thunder, a lot of them ice skaters got some Barry Sanders like thighs, and
very similar to the volleyball players and the softball players.
Yeah. Oh, and speed skaters.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that poor little dude right there didn't stand a chance. He was what you call whipped. And that he did what she told him to do. However, she didn't mention the part about not snitching.
No, she didn't. But let's say it's an oldie but goodie. We're gonna try to revisit these going forward to try to bring up a little trip down memory lane, so to speak. But on a little bit of amidst all the things that are going on right now, it's high tensions out there, and you want to make sure that everybody gets fair chances in trials. So with that being said, I know 2 weeks ago when we met on here, we talked about some of the NFL players that got in a little bit of trouble. So in regards to that, how do you feel that the current state of America, so to speak, is going to inhibit the existing cases that are out there?
I think, let me give you an example. This is a napkin.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen to them cases.
You think it's going to be that easy?
You know what? Considering the cases, however, there is one particular case that may not go away. Now, the one with the automatic weapon and armed robbery charges, that one's a little harder, a little more difficult to make go away. You robbed some people. That one is a little bit hard to get to go away. Is it possible? Yeah, but it really depends. That one is hanging on a little bit. Now the rest of them, that's just a matter of a coach or somebody going and paying somebody, and it goes away. But the players don't want the bad press. The police department, sheriff departments, they most definitely don't need any more bad press. But I think majority of them, if not all of them, are going away, except that one that hangs in the balance. That one is tricky. That's $60,000 in automatic weapons. That one's a little bit more. It's possible. It's possible. All they have to do is mess up paperwork, and that one go away. It just depends. So, it's my opinion. We won't hear about them anymore. It'll be something that gets handled behind closed doors.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, what's your opinion? You think they're gonna bring it back up? You think they're gonna carry it along? Yeah.
Well, hopefully, the outcome of all this will be that due diligence would take place, and everybody, no matter your background, whatever case may be, is going to be able to have a fair trial amongst your peers. All things are going to be heard. Nothing is a lot of times, when it comes to those court cases, things can become pretty political. Yeah. People got ties to that. It's unfortunate, even though I believe, government and law enforcement and politics should be separate, like church and state. They don't go hand in hand. Because at the end of the day, you got to make the right decision.
But is it really separate?
No. Oh, no. We definitely know it's not. We definitely know it's not.
Notice the key
one
word
drives the other and vice versa.
The key word in that statement is supposed.
Supposed to be.
It's a lot of supposes. So, yeah, but yeah, we will see. I don't think. Honestly, I think they'll go away. It's just too much going on. One of the biggest things that I foresee is to try to get things back to normal as quickly as possible.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of scandal that's going to get swept under. So uh,
I can
the
definitely see
whole
that.
the whole gun menage a mini family affair that's gone. We had some more stuff to talk about. That's gone. It's just so much gone. Now, in the midst of all this, there's no telling what may take place because we did have a MMA fighter snatching spray cans from people. So
Man, you talking about Bone Jones?
I mean, technically, as a person who's familiar with law, technically that's theft. That's strong arm robbery because one, he is considered a deadly weapon. So if someone wanted to make a complaint about him, they would actually have a legitimate complaint without him even touching. I'm just saying technical, not trying to get the brother in trouble because understand what he was out there trying to do, but he was also kind of thugging about it too. So yeah, me personally, I think I'd have sprayed him, gone took a lick, and we just settle up later on.
Just like that.
Hey, I need the account numbers to go. We can settle out of court. We don't have to drag it all through court. Just hey, you know what? We can even keep the IRS out of that. Just hey, whatever you got on you.
That definitely sounds like a deal. So for some of us who may not know what we are referencing, my man Bones Jones, like X said, was out there just snatching stuff from looters, cans.
Yeah. They can either give up the cans or taste them hands. That's basically how it go down.
One of the two, man. One of the two. Let's see here.
Hands for cans.
Hey, you say hands for cans.
Hands for cans. New motivation. You got him. There he is.
Dude, and want none of that smoke. He didn't put up no fight. I guess he realized who he was.
You know what the funny thing about this whole situation is? After he took cans, one of the things that I noticed, not only did he take the cans from them, he also took all their whole protest enthusiasm away because they all just started kind of put their hands in their pockets, they were kind of walking around aimlessly, figuring out what they need to do next. He basically took their soul. He did a Shang Tsung on them.
Shang Tsung? Elaborate on that. I know you're the martial arts man. Okay.
Yeah. So Mortal Kombat, with Shang Tsung, there's a thing where he snatches their soul out of the fighters. So when he snatched the can and said whatever he whispered in their ear, they pretty much had their soul snatched at the same time along with their can. Everyone that I saw in the video that he went up and approached and took the can, that whole jumping around and screaming thing came to a screeching halt, and they looked like they pretty much went home. So he may be a solution, and maybe the rest of the MMA fighters may go out and patrol the roads and go ahead and make folks go home. Think about it. You got Anderson Silva and quite a few of them walking down the road doing spin kicks and Superman punches on folks. They got a choice. They can either take them MMA hands or them Rona hands.
True. Rona hand. But you throwing out all the terms today, aren't you?
I got a lot. Yeah. But
So something that I came across today, and bear with me on this one. I heard it on the way home, probably about an hour or so ago. I hadn't I wasn't too familiar with it until I got a chance to listen to a little bit of audio. I wish I had it to share, but I know I've been seeing a lot of movement, especially again, we're not going to talk about what's going on too much. We're trying to give y'all a nice, safe thing to take your minds out some things. But something that might be another movement is there was a coach. We're going to call it a sports beef again because essentially it could be a sports beef. But he's the coach for, let me make sure I get it right. He is the head coach for North Carolina Central basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out, and the gentleman's name is Lavelle Moulton. He called out Power 5 coaches for their silence over the weekend. And you got to consider a lot of these young men who are probably affected by this directly and indirectly. They come from the inner city, and they go to these Power 5 schools, and they make these coaches a lot of money. Yeah. And he just thought, I've been seeing a lot of mention and movement of maybe a lot of our young men should probably start going back to the HBCUs, so they can feel like they're getting the education they probably need, and also put the product back into our communities. So, what do you think about that?
I think it's an excellent idea, and I think it would level the playing field a lot.
I believe so.
In sports, because if you have more teams that are able to compete, because the talent is being spread about. Because once upon a time, you think about it, the powerhouse teams were getting all the recruits from
right.
and it grazes depending on who's the top 10 to the top 15. So, and then the HBCU schools couldn't compete with that because they don't get the notoriety.
Right.
Main thing most players want to do, they want to play on TV and they want the opportunity to, be seen and go to the NFL and so forth. And they don't see that from those schools because they're not able to compete on that level. However, if they start getting the players, that are available out there to go there, and they get a handful of those players and they start competing against those bigger schools, like I think who was that Florida's playing? Grambling and Southern, I believe.
No, LSU, I believe.
LSU, yeah.
I saw that today.
So that would be a good turn. Now, a wonderful thing would be if they beat them. Yeah. It would be good for LSU, but but that could be a game changer because, in all honesty, those players that they get, those are the schools that are closest to them. Close to their families. There's no stress on their families, so they can go see the game and support the
every
team
game.
And so forth. So, it could keep them at home. So, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think in time, it'll become lopsided in one way because when they decide they're gonna stay at home, then everybody's gonna stay at home. So then those top players that you used to get from every school, now you don't get those anymore.
They concentrated in one area.
Yeah, and and there's some players that these schools have never seen before. Everybody got that dude in the hood that should have got out, right? That could have got out, and he just went to one of those schools and it had no focus. So and then kind of just fell through the cracks. Yeah, believe it or not, there's a whole bunch of 4.140s out there. Just unheard of.
Yeah. They say a lot of time, people that make it to the next level professionally just cause the opportunity, chance, kept their nose clean, so to speak, or hey, I know some situation that hasn't about to take the rap for them.
Yeah.
But a lot of times a dude that's in the NFL, MLB, NBA leagues, they're not the best athletes. They're good, but I guarantee you, it was somebody that was better than them that they even know.
I can tell you a guy I know from my hometown. This dude was a freak of nature in sports. Now, he played exactly one football game in high school. He was a basketball player. Played one football game in high school. He's a big dude too, like 6'6", 6'7", like 295. Like he looked like a defensive lineman, but he played basketball. So on a bet, he came out for the football team during the season. So went in, whatever route we playing Marshall, went in the game, balled, slapped down passes, like 2 or 3 sacks. He was just balling. Played one game, and the coaches wanted him to lift weights if he was going to stay on the team. He said he'd mess up his shot, and he quit. He played one game.
Wow.
He got recruited by everybody on one game for football. Now he ended up going
dominant.
Yes, and he was
He
big.
that dominant.
And this is without lifting weights. This is just him coming in the game and playing against a top team in Marshall, and just wrecking shop. He wrecked
Marshall Mavericks.
Yes, he disemboweled a whole offense by himself in one game. And that's how dominant he was, coming in playing D-line for the first time, never played football in his life. And
it goes that way sometime, man.
And I think he went to Oklahoma on a basketball scholarship, and OU wanted him to play football too, but he didn't want to play. Long story short, he got in trouble and whatever.
Last year heard of him.
Yeah, that's it. He's back in the hood playing park ball.
Hey, I got one for you, man. I was just the sad thing about it, I never knew this guy's name. I want to say he was a year after me in high school. But I used to notice, you know how after you get done practicing, then the band comes out there and they kind of get in your way a little bit. But then then eventually the coach tell you, get your butt out the field. It's daytime for the field.
Yeah.
And I noticed this one particular young man at the time, when in high school, like a man. This dude was probably about 6'4", 6'5", had freaking guns like young Hulk Hogan. Big on. He'd be out there on Friday night doing this formation, playing the flute. And I asked this man one day, hey, why don't you come out playing a football team? He said, my dad won't let me because he don't want me to mess my fingers up. I respected it. But I'm like, you're a freak right out here. You're a big dude. We can use you on the defensive end, linebacker, or something. We can use you on the team, man. But his dad wouldn't let him play. And that always blew my mind. I'm like, if I had that size, I've been wrecking.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in Texas, especially, there's a whole bunch of players that don't get to play because their parents either work or whatever the situation is, and they need them. They don't have time to pick them up from practice and that whole thing. So I think the change in scope with the HBCU schools, that would be an outstanding opportunity for them to showcase.
Right.
And all it takes is one, because if one does it, then the other ones will figure it out quick, and they'll know how to recruit. Get these players to stay at home, and their parents to encourage them. And then with this situation going on, it's going to be one of those situations where the parents will feel safer that their kids are somewhere safe, that they believe is safe. Right. So, hey, we're going to see. It's going to be interesting to hear the next couple seasons going on. It may be some of them coaches going to be crying here pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't think it'll definitely ain't going to be the same going forward. You already had a little bit of movement against the norm with a lot of the young men, deciding instead of going overseas. Yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 of them who recently had decided that they're going to go to the G League, play there for a year, and then declare for the NBA. So I think there's different avenues now. People are thinking outside the box. There's other ways to make it to to make it to your goals that you want to have versus going the norm. You don't have to go play 2-3 years at a Power 5 school. I think football is going to be next, especially with California passing a law to where the players can start to get compensated for it. So it's going to change the dynamic of it. And then if that's the case, depending on how things go, like I say, a lot of young men are probably going to want to stay at home. And, and if they stay home, then the TV contracts are going to come in, the revenue is going to come in, the football, basketball, track, band, all that type of stuff is going to be generating income. Guess where that money goes? Back into the university. So then you start getting the amenities that you need in order to compete. And I think, we might be some old men when that happened, but I think we will see that in our time where there is a migration back to the HBCUs.
Yep, and once it starts, it's just gonna be something.
It's gonna be
serious.
avalanche. It's gonna be avalanche.
It'll be an avalanche because you got football, basketball, track, tennis in some schools, and the list goes on. Now
That's true.
at least the schools with swim teams, they get to hold on to it for a while.
Right.
But once again, when the amenities change, the amenities is the biggest thing. That's
the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. So you get a nice stadium, you get a state of the art locker room and weight system and all these other kind of things going on. It's a done deal.
A wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a done deal. There's the other little spectacular things are already there. So and then you know you're gonna have these parents in their ear like I need them safe.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a different dynamic, and changes are coming, man. Changes are coming.
I was gonna make a joke, but it wasn't appropriate. I'll let y'all make it on this one. Somebody said Tulane volleyball team got some legs.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm gonna steer away from that. That's how you get me too.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of that one. I'll go on a roll and it'll be a wrap. Show canceled. We did miss our sponsor though.
Who's our sponsor?
You get them new MLKs. For those of you out there who are marching and your feet are getting tired and sore, go check out those new MLK shoes with them Malcolm X inserts. They'll keep your feet right.
Hey, on a serious note, man, you know, y'all just make sure that y'all stay safe out there. Try to do the right thing. I understand there's a lot of emotion going on, but don't put yourself in a compromising situation because remember, you got a family, who you need to go back to. You got friends that love you. Everybody's got loved ones and everybody's got people that care for them. So, do your thing. Know what you feel is right, but just be careful out there, man, because it's tough times. We don't know what's gonna happen, and like I said earlier, man, changes are coming. Anybody got shout outs for Mr. X?
First shout wants to be to everyone. Wants to, just like you said, stay safe out there in the streets. If you don't need to be out there, don't go out there. Change is coming. It's going to happen. Use your words. Stay focused on the task at hand when you do go out. And just be a solution. Just be a solution.
Yes. That's the big thing. That's the big thing right there.
We want to see you be the solution, stepping out into this stuff, and maybe just maybe out of all this stuff that happens, people will be held accountable and things will change for the whole better. So that's my shout out. Man. That's my shout out and safety to you all.
Remember, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in today. Again, be careful, be safe. Most importantly, be patient. Because like my man Sam Cooke said, change is coming.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Lord, there have been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.